Here's a telephone connection on the wall. Just tapped onto a wire that I can use. I don't have landline service at my house. Just using cell phones. So this will be used like an intercom, as it is electrically connected to this telephone jack here in the kitchen. And I can therefore hook two phones up to each other to use them like an intercom. And I could also have people, quote, call in, quote, through the telephone in the kitchen. Lots of furniture had to be moved out of here to make room for the new setup. The AMX-18, brought to you by the Pacific Recorders and Engineering Corporation, is a very large multi-channel console. This was a gift from Speaker Freak 95, aka Jordan Tuck, along with all of its associated furniture. I had to haul it all the way here from Louisiana in a U-Haul. And it'll be quite the setup setting up all this. But first I have to take care of things that will be behind the very large desk-like setup, because once it's all set up, it's not going to move. So I'd rather have the phone and any things that need electrical outlets plugged in beforehand, because once it's set up, I'm not going to be able to access that wall. Now it's looking a lot more snazzy with the actual cover on. A circular hole can be seen in this image. I got a text message. As we zoom out, we can see a little bit more to the story. Yes, it's a large furniture setup with a big gaping hole right there and plenty of 19-inch racks. Another LOL text message. The big gaping hole will receive the PR&E AMX-18 console. Currently there are 10 line channel strips and 2 microphone channels installed, though I have some spare channel strips that I may add to it. Probably I will add some to it. To keep me company, voice speech-wise, is a little 5-core radio made in India.
The 9th day of the month, at even from even unto even, shall ye celebrate your Sabbath.
It has been a lot of hard work getting all this, and oddly enough, the hardest part in setting the furniture up was getting this particular board in the right position before screwing it underneath, because the original screw holes on there didn't line it up quite right for whatever weird reason. So I got that down nice and firm. This guy, Jordan, originally, I don't think he had screwed this one on originally, but I went ahead after positioning it, screwed it on too, so it won't shift at all whenever we put the soundboard on. And of course I need to acquire a UPS. Haven't acquired one of those yet, but I need to get a UPS so this device, this whole setup, can be constantly energized. And along with that, I'm thinking if I'm going to be getting a UPS for this, I might as well put my main desktop computer over here too. instead of the laptop, so that that computer could also take advantage of the UPS, because I'm one of those guys that likes to leave my computer on, and of course a laptop wouldn't need a UPS because it's got a battery. But it's annoying when the power goes out and my desktop computer shuts off, and it's not always the best thing for a computer to be shut off randomly. So if I'm going to get a UPS for this, I'm also going to be using that computer over here, so it'll take advantage of the UPS. But anyway, that is the setups of the furniture here. I guess I probably should have shown what the furniture looked like before then, as each thing is modular. These black things on the bottom are actually separate. You can decide to not use them if you want this to sit lower. And then each of them are like kind of almost cube shaped things. A 19-inch rack here, then another identical 19-inch rack module, another identical 19-inch rack module. Each of these has doors at the end, except this one's missing the door, so it just goes out in the open. It's dark, you can't see in there. Out in the open. Then these have doors on the other side, and these 19-inch racks are all equal to each other. Then you have smaller pieces each in the corner. Then you have this long piece here, and then you have another identical 19-inch rack module here. And then of course these side pieces are removable, and they yield an opening, because it's all the same on all these. These are basically, the thing is it's a very configurable, highly configurable setup. You could have the L shape like this, or you could have these racks on that side, have the L shape the other way around. And if you had longer top pieces and more cubical 19-inch rack modules, you could, if you wanted to, just have a whole long series of 19-inch racks just going on in a long row, and provided you had a top piece that went off so along in that long row, you could have a unusually long setup. Heck, I guess if one wanted to, they could make it a hybrid between a workbench and a studio. Although this is all going to be a studio here, because my workbench is in my other room that I refer to as my lair. For amplification purposes, for the monitor speakers, we will be using this Altec Lansing model 1268, and Jordan told me this unit is 75 watts per channel. Of course, I'll only be using this to set my maximum volume, because the main actual volume control will be right here. Here is Maurice of Maurice Presents, but not only that, born in the same year as Maurice, 1995. We have a freak, the speaker freak, 95, Jordan Tuck, right here at my home.
1995 was a long ass time ago, let me tell you.
It sure was.
Not really, but long enough. Let me grab this camera on film. Oh, I had my hand right in front of the camera, just, you know, professional. So, we got some things going on. Some of you who are a subscriber to my YouTube channel will immediately recognize this gear. Yes, I gave it to Ricky Klein, the cassette master, because I'm getting too old to move this stuff anymore. It's so heavy.
Meanwhile, at the age
of 30
years old, I install this equipment.
Yep.
So this is for the right speaker.
Right now what he's doing is very audibly hooking up an audio amplifier for his control room monitors. Here's the audio console. We've seen it before. It's a 3-bus design. 2 mic channels. The rest of these are line input channels. They could be cassette recorders, CD players, turntables, you name it. You could probably hook it up and amplify it through this console. The radio furniture is Arrakis furniture, probably about 5 or 6 years old. It's actually not that old. The console, though, is about the same age as Ricky. And right now we got the power supply hooked up. As you can see, it's racked And we have the power cabling right behind Ricky's forehead there. That long snake looking thing. That's a multi-conductor 12 gauge cable. Real quick, we'll take a look at the back of the audio console because this is probably not something that you all will see very often. I'll use my cell phone's built-in flashlight just to provide a little bit of illumination. It's all Molex connectors, and thankfully I'm not an evil person. I did give him all the wiring that came with this console. As you can see, some of it over there, it's all red and green. It's all
an ironic fact.
It's all terminated in Molex connectors, so he can put any connector he wants on the end of the cable, and he doesn't actually have to touch any of this back here.
Want to know a fun fact? I work across the street from Molex.
Yeah, I forget that they have a branch here in this state of Arkansas.
Arkansas. Down
You can
south,
see,
north, south.
you can see more of this audio cabling. Here's an example of a Molex connector. It's balanced audio input and balanced audio output. Ricky will have a number of unbalanced and balanced sources. What we're thinking so far is we'll send program to air. Hint, hint, air. If you want to let your mind wander with that. Audition will go to his main editing computer and even maybe a cassette recorder or something, or that CD recorder there. This console does have enough outputs to feed multiple things from each bus. And the utility bus can be used for whatever purpose, like a mix minus for the telephone caller. 3 minutes and 50 seconds in, and Ricky is making noises.
Oh yeah.
Damn, we need some porno music in the background.
Yeah, I'm obsessed with the bus.
Alright, I'm done with that nonsense. But anyways, this is the progress so far. We've got the furniture loaded in. We have the power supply and monitor amp. We're doing everything under the table before we put the console in, because it's just easier to do that. Let's see. Let's get a zoom up real quick before you put it in, because we all know you're good at putting it in.
This is the back of the Altec Lansing power supply, 75 watts per channel.
I believe that's 75 RMS per channel, but I could be wrong.
Thank you very much. Model number 1268.
This amplifier has a little bit of history with me. The movie theater that I used to go to in Beckley, West Virginia, this amplifier came from there, and it actually powered a set of Altec A7s behind the screen. So this amplifier, I think, was partially recapped. I do know that it works. I don't know if it needs the input transformers present or not for the balanced audio inputs to work or not. We'll discover that in a moment. Easy enough to solve. That's one of those modular amplifier designs where you can get multiple different plug-in modules to give the inputs different characteristics for different purposes. But yes, this is the broadcast setup that was at my house. I'm downsizing. Of course, I still will have an equally usable broadcast setup at my place, and Rick, you and I will continue to do shows from there and here. So this must be just such riveting video to watch someone put stuff into a rack. This is exactly what people come to YouTube to watch. See, Ricky's smart. What he did is he left a gap behind the furniture so that he can actually get to stuff. See, people like me, we don't think that far ahead, and we cram the furniture into the back wall, thus making it nearly impossible to get to any of the wiring without cussing and swearing and taking lots of extra time to do so. Here's the speaker wire, RCA brand. I think I recognize this speaker. I recognize this wire. I gave this to you. I don't know what this was from, but I remember giving this wire to you out of something. I don't remember what it was. I think I handed you a bunch of wire one time, and I'm like, take it, please! And that was, that's what that was. Oh, that wall speaker does have an ornate grill on the front. You lied Can't really see it. This camera's low light sensitivity is it's not bad, but it's certainly better than my iPhone, but not as good as it could be. But I'm not here to insult Ricky's camera, am I? Dude, you're in high cotton with this setup, I'm telling you. I probably shouldn't have cussed on video. Guess you could blurb that out.
Oh yeah, give that a 1 kilohertz tone.
You're pooping in high cotton, as they say. Or as Mike Patton would say, this is poop, comma, hot. I don't get that. But
oh my gosh.
anyways, I think we're going to cut the video here. We'll come back when there's more. Let's see. What's the date?
Wait a second. Okay. I think it is the 8th. Yesterday was the 7th. Yes, the 8th of May 2021 AD on the Gregorian calendar.
Only you would make it so difficult to tell me what date it was. I love it. There's so much detail there that I did not need, but now that I heard it, I think I needed all that information. I think I'm going to run out in the street with no clothes on and just repeat what you said.
Yes. Hi. Hi there. This is yours truly, Gun. I'm about to wire some power into this console here.
Jesus, scared.
First, we're going to hook up our Logic 12 volts connection. Our orange and our blue. So, our blue on our common. It's even labeled for us. Blue. Oh, Phillips.
What a rookie mistake.
Am I right?
Luckily, when I had this console, I recapped all of the internal sections of the console, including the meter drivers.
Oh, wow.
So you don't have to. Because those are really a big PITA to use, or to recap. It's very difficult.
Logic common.
Thing.
And then minus 22 volts DC, which is red with the black tracer. There it is.
An interesting side note about the channel strips and modules in this console is that they all operate from plus and minus 22 volts, but that's not what the op amps require. Each channel strip has its own bipolar plus and minus 15 volt supply by means of LM317s. I believe that's the part number. I could be wrong. Usually
Sounds right to me, because I use them all. Heck, I used a 317 in the battery charger I made earlier today.
I think it's 317 and was it 337?
Yes, that's a negative voltage regulator.
Yeah, that's what I thought. And the only bit of difficulty with those channel strips are the tantalum capacitors on the inputs and outputs of those voltage regulator transistors. Sometimes they do fail in a shorted condition, so it's advisable to replace those with low ESR electrolytics or new tantalum caps. But this has already been done in this console, so I don't believe you'll have to be worrying about that.
And brown and then black for the next common, which is separate.
While we're back here, I'll take everyone on a guided tour of the input and output section.
Not a tour, but a tour.
Oh yeah, southern accents coming out. So, we have line output switchers, monaural output, telco mix, meter switcher, that's external inputs to go to these auxiliary meters here. Each output bus, there's 3. You have program, audition, and utility. Each one of those has 3 outputs, so you have 9 stereo balanced outputs right there alone, including the monaural output, which has 2 outputs. So it's got a built-in distribution amplifier. Right here, you have a send and return. Basically, that could be used for your telephone hybrid or an effects. You have outputs. And you have your return, which goes back into this channel strip. Right there with the orange circular knob and the red and white buttons, that is your effects or return. You have 18 channels. Here's one. You have an option out. Don't ask me what that does because I have no clue. A and B inputs. Your patch, we'll explain that later on. And your logic controls. What's cool about this console that Ricky's wiring is that, let me turn my phone screen off, or my phone light because we don't really need it. What's cool is that the on-off lights can be controlled by external devices such as cart machines or CD players or your computer with your playout system, like what I did here with the 3 faders. I used Scott Studios in my home studio and it controlled the off lights and on lights as well. But what's cool about that, these logic connectors, you have the options of pulse or open emitter, open collector type interface, so you can pretty much control external devices, either the play button, the pause, or whatever. The possibilities are endless. What we're doing now is we're at the point of hooking up the power supply. Things like Molex connectors and stuff can be dealt with the console in place, but we're doing as much as we can now to make it a fast and easy installation. Now I'm going to get back down here. Ugh. Remote line selectors. It's exactly what it says it is. You have 4 outputs and you have 8 inputs. I'm not even looking at the right thing in the camera. I need to look at the viewfinder. Studio 1, this is your control room output and headphone output. You also have, it's actually got 2 outputs, only 1 card is populated. So you would use Studio 1 here for your...
I almost drank out of your Dr. Pepper.
Don't do that. And you have your control room output here, your slate, and that can be explained later on. You also have your external inputs for your monitor, so if you had like a mod monitor or an FM receiver or whatever, you could do that, plug it in there. Your audio processing return can come in there as well. And here's some of those patch plugs again. Up in here we have the power distribution board. That's all it's there for. How do you know what drink is yours?
I put mine right there.
Okay. We're now grabbing components necessary to get the right... I don't even know where I'm going with that. How often do you get to see Cassette Master in his own hallway, within his own home, burping? We're getting the tripod so we can put the camera up while we struggle, and I show my crack on the screen. So while we put the console in the furniture, there's a million ways to do this. And many people in the comments section, if you know anything about broadcast setups, are probably going to cane me in the comments about things I said wrong or I'm about to do wrong. So just understand, this is a home studio. It's for fun. And no, none of this is for sale. Please don't come to me to buy equipment because I don't have any for sale. I've already given it all away. My philosophy is if it came to me for free, I don't feel right making a profit on it. Unless it's like a very odd or specific situation. Why am I going into this much detail?
Alrighty, so now you can kind of see Jordan.
Okay, so there's no real easy way to do this. It's just do it. We're going to pick the console up, set it up on this sturdy part of the cabinetry, and then we'll set it in. So please understand that this video is for entertainment purposes only. This is not how to build an illegal radio station in your house. So which side do you want?
This side.
You would pick that side. Alright.
Okay.
Get my bearings straight.
Bearing straight.
Bearings straight. Man, I look horrible on camera. I need to reestablish my grip.
Cord.
Yep. It's gonna be a doozy. Don't worry about that too much. It might get pinched or get bound up. We'll deal with that. There's enough air gap in between the back of this that you can get to it. Yeah.
You let it just slide down in, right?
Slowly, but yes, essentially. There's the
I don't
angle.
have the back side. Do I need to get the back side?
The back side of what?
That comes right in.
What do you mean?
Wait. Whew. Okay. Wait. Get the bottom.
That's good.
Kind of let go.
I got it from the bottom. You can let your fingers out.
Wow.
Shh, people are sleeping.
Jordan, look. Oh, wow. Oh, yeah, that's a decent amount of room to get to the back. That's not too bad.
It's good to have me as a friend because I'll hook you up.
Oh, wow. Wow. Oh, the Jordan look. Oh, my. Oh, wow. This has been transplanted into my home.
Let me get a picture of you here. Biggest smile you can generate. Love it. Got it. Alright, so from this point we're going to just continue wiring stuff, and while the toilet flushes, we're just going to continue on for a little bit longer, and then we're going to get some sleep.
Look at this. Should we turn it on? See if
Go for it.
Pops.
If you think that you got it wired correctly.
Just the master. Leave everything else alone.
Here, I'll show you how to do it. So, this is the way I start it right here. Turn everything off. Turn the master on. Okay? Then you do logic and
Okay.
lights.
Wow. Damn.
And then, then you turn on your audio. And it fired right up.
Wow. Wow. Oh, wow. So. Oh, wow.
Alright, let's get this on video here. How do I undo this?
Gosh.
I'll just take the whole tripod here.
Here is the Jordan Tuck.
That's what he calls it.
Blinky Studio setup that is beginning. It's not complete, obviously, but
It's making progress.
we got blinking lights.
We're doing good. So, that transformer in that power supply is going to hum for a little bit while it's cold, but when it warms up, it'll quit humming. So, it's a good hum, though. Ooh, we lost some lights in the meters. That's easy to fix. They didn't come back after they've been off. So this console spent years being on, and then it got transferred here. And I'm sure my camera work is terrible. Please forgive.
Take a look at the back of that meter.
They're just socketed incandescent bulbs. I never switched to those to LEDs.
Oh, that's easy. Easy like Sunday. Heck, I probably have one on hand.
In fact, watch this, Ricky. Let's turn on the audio. Look at that. We have
these just
tone.
12-volt lamps.
I think. Look, we have tone.
Oh my gosh!
Let's turn all this off so those meters come back.
Oh, wow.
See, these are switched VU meters, so if you ever cue anything, if you cue it before bringing it up in program, you can see the audio level. Oh, you pulled the bulb out. What an efficient...
I'm gonna see if I have one. I don't know if I have one of this type of base that's 12 volts on hand or not.
Let's just do it live.
Absolutely.
F it, we'll do it live.
First, I'll just check the resistance out of curiosity to confirm that the lamp is open circuit. Indeed it is.
They should be 12 volts. That's what the logic and lights supply is.
A few old light bulbs, but I don't know that I have a 12 volt one with that base. I'm pretty sure this one is 6 6.3 volts, that's not going to do it.
Yeah, that'll work for about 5 minutes.
Yeah, oh, yeah, it doesn't look like they have one of that base. It's 12 volt. Actually, I think I know of one other lamp with that base. I'll have to check it.
We'll come back. So that's me playing with the level control of the built-in slate tone generator. We can cancel that and go to a microphone by pressing the slate button. So you see our tone there, and you can see our microphone level. It was cranked way up because I don't speak very loudly when I'm in the studio. You can adjust that over here. But what's cool about these VU meters is the fact that they're buffered, which means they have their own amplifier, but they're also protected. We can show you the protection diodes on the back, which are just LEDs. They absorb the extra, I guess, current flow. So right here you can see the meters being protected from being overdriven with those LEDs. It's a very interesting design, and all Pacific Recorders consoles have this. So if I speak really loudly and I'm burying the needles into the red, you can see that. And as you can see, I'm burying the needles into the red a little bit, but they are protected. And this console has metric butt tons of headroom, so burying it in the red's not going to hurt anything. But yeah, you can adjust your console meter here. That's this little mic here.
We are happy, you know. We're happy to have you here with us, and yeah. So you know, I hope you will get to to know us more. Ricky and I enjoyed your story. You know, it's and so yeah, Jordan, man, you know, you are always welcome. You know, and so. Oh, it seems like, you know, at the first time you and I connected, you know, when I came and saw you in the garage and I called your name, and seems like you and I have a lot of similarities, you know.
Alright, man, I think this may conclude our phone call. I appreciate talking with you through analog telephone.
Boom!
Boom, boom, let's go to our room. I'm sorry.
Yo, boom! Jordan Tuck is continuing to set up the whatchamacallit.
I'm screwing around.
I say that too. Sunday night and work looms. Work looms and devours my soul. Hi. I live on the flat earth. Across the great flat earth, I have a studio set up. This studio exists not on a sphere, but on a flat earth that sits underneath the dome.
Technical question. Is it flat from DC to light?
Absolutely. It's flat from DC to light. So, we're going to turn on our monitors. This is our first turning on of my computer while set up in this area. This is the same desktop computer I've had regularly set up in next to my electronics workbench since October 2018. And now it is going to be used with the Jordan Tuck Studio Extravaganza. Provided I can find the power button. There it is. This Sony monitor is from 2002 and was given to me with its original computer, keyboard, and mouse, mint condition, from a coworker. This one was given to by another worker at another job I had in Massachusetts. We should be seeing the AS Rock. There we go. Windows 10.
We already have a couple sources hooked up.
Oh, it's kind of blue on the side. Never noticed that before.
Yeah, that is a little unusual.
Now with Universal Serial Bus keyboard, we will try again. Alright, AS Rock.
While the AS Rock is booting, do we want to look at the mic?
This is a Yo Boon Guzkashmani, also known as the Electro Voice RE20.
There's your channel right there.
Very high quality dynamic microphone, meant for use by professionals. I'm hoping this computer didn't get a curse. A virus! Its slowness it was behaving today was very unusual and something I had never seen before. Alright.
Well, I will say that it is Windows 10, so I mean, all bets are off when it comes to Windows 10.
That's more like it. Got my rats.
Hey, yeah, those monitors matched pretty well. The camera sees more difference in them than I can. Yeah, we got the computer running. We're going to download the.
Crazy, though. Figure out how to adjust that.
We got to download the driver for our sound card.
Here, bro. Holy crap, bro. We should be able to. Oh yes, we need to install that driver.
Yes, we'll come back when we do that.
Welcome, viewers of this video. The audio in this the audio in this portion of the video is being recorded with this studio setup. I have Adobe Audition on my Comtar, the one that used to be set up in my lair next to my electronics workbench, and the Selectors 528E voice processor, and it is going into the PR&E AMX-18 studio mixer, and is then being sent into my Windows computer through a Lexicon Alpha sound card, external sound card.
And anyway, good enough.
Good enough. We can play it back. Always be sure to turn your mic off so you can. So it's working. And your audio levels are perfect. And you could send the computer to itself. It doesn't care.
Don't you understand? I gotta work tomorrow. That is me shooting myself.
See, look, you didn't actually clip there either. It's perfect headroom.
Viewers of this video, the audio in this the audio in this portion of the video,
what do you think, man?
Is being recorded with this studio setup. I have Adobe Audition on my Comtar, the one that used to be set up in my lair next to my electronics workbench, and the Selectors 528E voice processor, and it is going into
I need to adjust the monitors a little bit.
PR&E AMX-18 studio mixer, and is then being sent into my Windows computer through a Lexicon Alpha sound card, external sound card.
It is May 14th, 2021. Jordan has since gone back to Louisiana, but some things are improving, or let's put it this way. What are the words I'm looking for? Progress is being made. Now you may be mesmerized by this strange thing you're seeing before you. It's a very special box fan. Smaller than your typical box fan, and a very unusual one that many of you probably have never seen before. It's made by a company called Rags. And it is a European fan, but very specifically a Turkish fan. It is literally from Turkey. I did not expect to find this. I was at a flea market, and there it was, $10. Jordan spotted it, pointed it out. I looked at it. I thought, this is pretty cool. I thought Spatsbear would probably like it with the green and everything, and it being a fan. And I was questioning whether I was going to get it or not. And then I looked at the back, and I saw when it said made in Turkey. Well, first thing actually I noticed is I saw the European plug on there. And I'm like, okay, this is interesting. This European cord, oh my gosh, okay, this European cord does go to the fan. Oh wow, okay. Then look at the back of the fan, made in Turkey. I was not expecting that, especially down in Arkansas, you know, flea market down in Arkansas, and here it is. So, and it was still set for 220 volts. The voltage selector switch is on the bottom. So when I first plugged it in, before I knew where the voltage selector switch was, it ran super slow and super quiet because it was running at half the operating voltage. And then once I switched it to 110 volts, now this is a low setting. It's medium setting, and This is a high setting. And then the lower here can go either direction. It's really weird. By default, it tends to want to go. This is not. There it goes. It wants to go counterclockwise tends to by default, but it has this annoying click every now and then as it rotates. That click there. So, but if I go in the clockwise direction, it tends to not have that clicking issue. It's weird that it can go either way. And when it's going clockwise, it doesn't click, so I just run it clockwise. It also has a timer on it as well. It's just really cool. But that's not the thing I'm to be showing in this video. It's a complete digression. The main thing is the soundboard setup. The PR&E AMX-18 is installed on the desk. Obviously, the racks are still mostly empty. Lots of equipment is lying around. I still have to get a lot of things to convert unbalanced into balanced and balanced into unbalanced and all that kind of stuff, because that CD recorder there is all unbalanced. And then of course I have a Tascam cassette deck that was given to me by Amberola 1B 10 years ago, and it's a rack mount unit, so I'm planning on getting it working correctly. I think, not sure if it still works or not, but I have to I'm going to be installing it on here. And but so far we have the two Selectors 528E mic processors installed here, which are reacting happily to my voice. We have a SHURE SM58 on this ancient LPB arm here. I need to tighten that up. It's a little bit loose there. The microphone's kind of jostling about, but anyway, I pulled some springs off of a second larger arm to put it on this one, so some of the springs aren't as tight as they normally would be, but it does the job. And this is like the guest mic, you know, not the main mic. And this one goes to this Selectors right here, and then the main microphone here is the Electro Voice RE20, and has a bit of a nicer arm on it, and obviously a really nice microphone. It goes to the top Selectors, and the main microphone here is this first microphone channel. The guest microphone's the second microphone channel. Yo, 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 yo. What's going on, G? Yo. That's new. Yo. Yo. I was wrong mic, idiot. Yo, yo, yo. Now, okay, I need to turn this up again and turn the gain out. Yeah. Yo, 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 yo. Okay, I was just being a user, that's all. Tech support people would understand what I mean by being a user. Okay. But anyway, the computer I have using a Lexicon Alpha sound card down here. If you can, well, you can't even see it anyway. It's USB powered, so obviously you're not going to get your full line output voltage for balanced. And I have to have the volume down a bit, and then I even have to have the computer volume down a little bit. Otherwise it literally clips on the output. So anyway, that's on this channel here. This channel here I have hooked up to this little converter over here, and this it'll to convert the unbalanced into balanced, and that's for plugging into cell phones and whatnot. So anyway, MP3 players, you can anything with a headphone jack anyway. So this channel's not hooked up yet, but that's probably going to go to a second computer at some point. These channels aren't hooked up yet, but that's going to be going to a cassette deck. These are going to go into reel-to-reels. This channel here is kind of I have both A and B's on it. so I can switch between the two, and it's just kind of multi-purpose, the idea of hooking up various different mono tape machines up to play it through the soundboard and to transfer it to digital and stuff like that. And then this isn't hooked up yet because I'm having some issues with my phone hybrids, but this is going to be used for the telephone. And I could also make a little adapter to use it direct hooking up into a smartphone. I need to get one of those, another wire with the the TRRS type connector. It's one of these connectors. Currently I have this one here, which was taken off of scrapped earphones that I have it hooked up to this old handset, which works quite well. This old handset. The only thing I had to do to modify it to make it work with a cell phone was to put a 1.2K ohm resistor in series with the carbon microphone. That way the impedance was above a particular limit point such that the cell phone detected it as a microphone. Otherwise, if the resistance is too low, the cell phone interprets it as a pause signal, which normally if you short the microphone to ground, the phone interprets it as pressing pause. Anyway, and then different resistance values on there are interpreted as different buttons. It's really cool how it operates. But above a certain resistance, I think it's above 1.4 kilo ohms, it says, oh, okay, that's microphone. But I'm going to be getting another one of those cords, and then I could easily hook up a cell phone to talk through the phone system. But I'd also ultimately like to be able to use it with an old-fashioned landline. But my hybrids are giving me issues, and I don't know if the hybrids are giving me issues because the landline itself is coming from a little Bluetooth landline converter thing, or to make a fake landline out of a Bluetooth, or if it's just the voltages aren't right, or if there's something wrong with the hybrid, maybe it just needs new caps or something, I'm not sure. But anyway, and then here is a little processor for the phone channel. Little de-esser and everything all on there. Anyway, so it's just a very nice setup going on. It's not 100% set up yet, but we're getting there. And it's just going to be an amazing system when it's all set up. And then of course the JBL 4312A control monitors. Go vertical here so you can see what they look like more realistically. These were originally given to Jordan from the illustrious John Clark, aka Stupid Camera, aka JRC Studios, and then they went from Jordan to me. Matter of fact, this board was originally given to Jordan from John Clark, and then later from Jordan to me after Jordan had been using it for quite a while. Now Jordan is a huge Wheatstone fan, and he's getting a Wheatstone board, a smaller setup, takes up less space but still fulfills his needs, and gave me this entire board, furniture, speakers, even the mic arms. He's already given me the gray mic arm a while back, and it is a most generous and amazing gift for my 30th birthday. Thank you very much. 30 years old, yeah. Hey, I'm still young. And yeah, so it's the very special studio setup going on, and quite something. I also have a video capturing thing to get composite video onto my main computer, so I may be doing some more composite videos, but the problems I'm running into right now is finding a good capture software. I tried various different softwares that free softwares to capture live video from the composite that just don't do a very good job. I have one that's a free VSDC software that the video recording is clean, but the synchronization between the video and the audio is the worst thing ever, and because of that it's completely useless. So anyway, and then the other softwares that I tried, any of them that actually managed to work, some of them would just do all sorts of weird things, and like one of them I would try recording, like it would show video, live video, But then the moment I went to record, the video would just disconnect. It was the stupidest thing in the world. And the other ones that did work, the video was less clean. It was a little bit more those weird horizontal bars going on whenever there was a movement and stuff like that. And then some of them the video was clean, but for some stupid reason the audio had like a low sample rate or something, and I don't know how to change it on the program where it's all muffled sounding and low quality, and it's like, are you kidding me? Are you actually kidding me? And then the software that came with the camera for capturing video can't even install on the computer. It throws some crazy error, and restarting the computer doesn't fix it, and I don't know what's going on there, but the installer it just refuses to install. So it's like, yeah, Murphy's Law. Though I could probably, maybe, hopefully, maybe live stream, although I tried one time and it was having problems and YouTube wouldn't even see the freaking capturing thing, but I might experiment around some with that. But anyway, it's just Murphy's Law all around when it comes to try to capture video onto this computer. But I love the idea of being able to do more composite video, just live video recording to the computer with composite video camera. It's not HD, but there's something enjoyable about using old composite video. And of course the idea of also being able to transfer from a VCR, Betamax, and all that kind of stuff. The setup obviously is not complete at this time, but I do have a Magnacord 1048 reel-to-reel machine hooked up to the system. I don't have any rack mount deals to rack mount this machine, so it is sitting on the desk separate from the racks. But it is a very nice setup, and will be the studio. Mi video del estudio. This has been a temperate production.
This has been a Cassette Master production.